A lot of my patients are asking me, how do I reduce my portion sizes? I feel like I'm overeating. I don't know how to stop. I go back for seconds. Okay, let me help you. In this video, I will present 6 tips to help you reduce your portion sizes effectively. And by reducing your portion sizes, you can find key strategies to manage your weight, improve your eating patterns, and be a healthier and happier you. By implementing these strategies, you can effectively reduce the portion sizes and promote overall healthier eating patterns. However, remember that consistency is a key, and it may take some time to adjust to smaller portions as you are used to eating larger portions. Allow the time it takes for you to adapt to these new eating patterns. Okay, tip number 1. Eat adequate protein within every single meal. I cannot stress enough, eating a meal that doesn't have protein is unacceptable for everyone, not even for those that are trying to maintain their weight, not lose weight. Why? Because protein is the building block of life. Protein is what your body desires, and when you don't give your body protein, it makes you hungry, so you are hungry soon after that. Make sure that at least a quarter or 25% of each meal accounts for protein. So tip number 1, eat protein and make sure it's at least a quarter of every single meal. Tip number 2, layer your meals. Start with a protein because protein can curb your appetite and keep you from overeating. Second, eat your vegetable. And third, eat your carbs. Why do you eat your vegetables second? Because vegetables are voluminous. They provide a volume. They take space within your stomach. They stretch your stomach, and the stretch receptors are ignited. And the stretch receptors talk to your brain, telling your brain, I am getting full. Stop eating. So the stretch receptors are ignited by a volume, not by calories. And vegetables provide a lot of volume for not a lot of calories. So they're voluminous, but low in calories. See how important it is to eat your vegetables? Make sure then within every single meal, you have at least half of your plate filled with vegetables. Vegetables are essential. However, those should not be the starchy vegetables. We only have 3 starchy vegetables: potatoes, corn, and pea. These go into the carbohydrate section of your plate, right? All other vegetables are considered to be non-starchy, and they can be in the half portion of your plate. Lastly, eat your carbohydrates. Because studies show that when you eat your carbohydrates last, the insulin response is attenuated, meaning that your blood sugars do not spike as much. So at the end of the meal, you achieve a slower elevation of your blood sugars. So eating your carbohydrates last is perfect recommendation for everyone that is trying to manage their blood sugars out there. So start with the protein, continue with a vegetable, and lastly finish with the carbohydrates. Just a side note, it's okay to have a meal without carbs, especially for breakfast and lunch. However, if you're someone that is dealing with insomnia and you're wired and tired, you have a hard time falling asleep, then probably skipping the carbohydrate for dinner is not a good idea for you. And make sure you eat at least 1 or 2 servings of carbohydrates, or a quarter of your meal should be filled with your plate at dinner if you're struggling with insomnia. Trick number 3, eat slowly. When you eat too fast, you might end up overeating, right? You know that. And this is because the brain didn't get a chance to get the message. The brain didn't get the memo that you're full. Those stretch receptors are ignited, right? But they take time to tell the brain that you are full. So this process of pumping the satiety hormones may take up to 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And very often people might inhale a large amount of food and calories for this 15 minutes, right? So make sure that you eat very, very slowly to allow your brain to get the memo that you are full now. It's a very important technique, and I don't know how to stress enough, but eating slowly can be one of the key and maybe the most important techniques how to decrease your portion size. Which leads me to tip number 4. Put the fork down between every single bite. Do you hold your fork like it's a weapon throughout the whole meal and you don't let it go? This is maybe because you're very hungry. Try to put the fork down between every single bite, and that will help you slow down, and it will allow you to take breaks between each bite, and this in turn will help you slow down the time you take to consume a meal. Tip number 5, make sure you're adequately hydrated. Our bodies are fascinating. The organ systems, the physiology, our physiological system is so efficacious, so predictable, flexible, adaptable, absolutely amazing. If you're a nerd like me and you love anatomy and physiology and you like to deep dive in the synchrony of the hormones and how organ systems talk to each other and how they are so perfect, you can understand what I mean. However, your thirst mechanism is an exception. Yeah, it doesn't work as good as you think. There is a wide range of what is enough water for different people. For example, for me, 3 liters of water is great, but this is me, right? Years ago, I used to drink only 1 liter and I was just fine getting by with 1 liter. However, if your water intake is on the lower end, you might end up eating more calories. This is because very often you're confusing the cues of hunger and thirst. So make sure you're well hydrated. I recommend my patients to drink at least 2 cups between each meal, and drink it about 20 to 30 minutes before you eat. This way you allow for the water to be absorbed and not dilute your food, because if you drink way too much water within your meal, you might dilute the digestive enzymes, which is not good for overall digestion. So, my friends, if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to control your amount of calories you consume, make sure you're well hydrated. All right, tip number 6, last but definitely not least, maybe even just as important, if not more important than the others, is eating mindfully, not mindlessly. Mindful eating means to really pay attention to your food and enjoy and savor every single bite. And don't do anything else but eat. Don't watch TV, don't multitask in some way, or watch TV or work on the computer or scroll down on social media. Just eat. Allow the food to nourish your body, to nourish your soul, to nourish you from within, because you will enjoy and savor every single bite. You will eat slowly and mindfully and enjoy the food as much as you can. I hope you found those tips helpful. Please let me know in the comments below.